All right. Hello and welcome back to the hashtag Becomer series stories. I am Dr. Kim Brown Barber, better known as Dr. Kim, and we are here to encourage you and to enlighten you, to celebrate you. I tell you because you are fabulous. And I mean it when I say you are fabulous. So we always are looking for someone with that hashtag become a story, those stories that are encouraging and enlightening and to all of us inspiring. And we need that during this time. And so we are here in this journey to celebrate you and to encourage you, but also to encourage others in our community, right? And so that we're able to help them to get to their hashtag become a story and to their journey to becoming, right? So we're giving them all sorts of enlightenment and we're giving them different support and we're giving them insight and we're giving them everything they need to get to their journey to becoming. And right now, today, we are so happy to have with us none other than Mishki Mars. She is the CEO and founder of Red Ferns Boutique, okay, Boutique. And so we are happy to have you with us today, Mishki. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We are so excited that you are here with us and with our community and being able to tell us more about your hashtag Become a story. So as we begin, I just want to let our audience and our community know who you are. Okay, so if you could tell us a little bit about what your name, title, city, and a little bit about yourself and your background, that would help us to kind of get started on that journey to your becoming.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Mishki Mars Thompson. Actually, I'm married, and I'm a member of the Narragansett Indian tribe, born and raised in Charlestown, Rhode Island. I am the founder, I guess, and creator behind Red Ferns Boutique. I started this, I want to say, in 2012.
Oh, wow.
I'm from Charlestown, Rhode Island. And little teeny town in the little teeny state.
Okay, the small town in the small state. Oh, that's a good way to remember you though, okay? So I love it since 2012. So, kudos for that already and still being afloat in this midst of this pandemic as a small business owner, doing great things. So thank you for that. So now you just talk to us a little bit. You kind of gave us a little peek into it. So I know you identify as an Indigenous artisan, right? So can you tell us more about what that means? Because we want to educate. That's the thing about our platform. We're not only here to encourage and to inspire, but we're here to educate as well. So can you give us a little education on that, please?
Sure. So I am a member of the Narragansett Indian tribe. My parents are both members of the tribe as well. Mm-hmm. And growing up, I just, I'm surrounded by family. Family is a big, huge thing for us. And I have 3 siblings, and my maternal and paternal grandparents both had art, within them. My father's father was a reverend, mm-hmm. and my grandmother, she did beadwork. My mother's side, she wore all the beautiful jewelry that I saw all growing up. And my grandfather on my mother's side was a stonemason.
Oh, wow.
He actually painted onto the stones once before he built the stone walls. So there was art like everywhere around me constantly, family members, tribal members, it's just been part of my life since I was a kid and mm-hmm. could remember. So, it's just a big thing in our community, and it's important to, keep that going.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Since high school, actually, we used to have to be made to do home economics.
Okay.
And that's where I started learning crafting, different crafts. And, but because where I'm Native American, I wanted to make sure that I included that. That was just always in the background. How can I do this? How can I make it me?
Exactly. Putting your voice in it. And I loved how you took that, mandatory class, but put your voice in it. And also you found your voice because you found it through it was part of your own ethnic background and your DNA of showing it. And I love how you talking about, your grandparents having all these skill sets of artistry and being able to express it in so many different ways and different forms. So, I'm an art lover. So, if I don't geek out on you, I'm trying not to geek out on you and getting too far into that part, but I am an art lover. So I have such a respect for any type of artistry, especially when it has history behind it. So I love this. So you lead a lot of beading workshops to create art. So, and it's helping your community, it's helping other people. Talk to me a little bit about how the community is responding to that, because really right now, during the time of this pandemic, a lot of people have been inside, they've been looking for different things to do. This is part of the artistry that a lot of people are finding out about themselves, the other side of them that they didn't even know because we never took the time. So talk to me a little bit about the beading workshops that you lead.
Okay, so my sister works for the Tamaquag Museum. Okay. And through them, the RISCA program gave grants for artists to share their work with the community. And so she came to me, she was like, you really should apply and maybe teach beading workshops, within the community. That would be excellent. And, at first I was kind of like, no way, I can't do that. But she was like, no, you should do this. You should really do this. So she helped me write the grant, and I did receive the grant.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so we went to different libraries. It was for the public. It was open to the public. And the good thing about it was small groups. We could do small groups. Okay. And I did an adult class and a children's class in each library. So I chose, I believe, 5 or 6 libraries that I went with, and in our little community. And so I would just go in and introduce myself. I actually had my daughter Wika with me. She's like my little apprentice.
All right.
Little apprentice. She's 15 years old, but she's been learning since.
Oh, wow.
So she helped in the classes, and we just taught a basic keychain, a flat stitch beadwork, and I kind of introduced ourselves. What we were sharing our culture. We were sharing appreciation for what we do. A lot of times when you see our beadwork and see prices, people are like, whoa, I don't want to pay for that. So because of these classes, it was able to show people what actually goes into it. It also was teaching appreciation versus appropriation. And
that's good.
A lot of times, you see a lot of different things that are Native inspired. And so we're trying to bring back Native made, inspired natives versus Native inspired. There was a Indigenous person actually said that Native inspired instead of, Native inspired natives instead of Native inspired. Sorry.
Gotcha. No, that's okay. I get it.
So it was just, getting people to see that we're still here in this community, and we do still do our beadwork, and we want to share it with people. We want people to know who we are, know that we are here, and just give, share what we do.
Exactly.
And so that's
I love it because you're sharing tradition too. Yes. I love it.
Yes. So I would always introduce myself in our native language, and let them know, give them a little background, and even the process of buying the beads, and all the stuff that goes into it, so that when some of the classes would end, you know, some people were really like, wow, I didn't realize, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it actually, for me, that's how I learned myself. I would go and buy jewelry. I love jewelry. I love
Mm-hmm.
earrings. And I was
Yes.
ever buying earrings at every powwow that I went to. And you know, and sometimes I would try to be cheap about it. Like, I ain't buying
Mm-hmm.
that. That's too much money. And
Mm-hmm.
so then I was like, I think I could make this.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I ended up going into it, but that taught me an awful lot about it and gave me a huge respect for all other fellow beaters.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. Wow. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, Mishki. Now,
Okay.
don't, okay, I'm just going to put you on the spot here. This is nothing we rehearse, guys. So I want you to introduce yourself in your native language and so that you can tell us what you said so we can
Oh,
educate even with that. When you are
okay.
in the workshop, how do you introduce yourself in the artistry? And then tell
Uh,
us what you said.
oh Lord. Okay. So
I,
let me see if I
I,
can remember.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think this will be educating for us. So
All right.
let's see what
So
we can do.
Oscar Kwasin, Natessawis Mishki Thompson. Um, uh, I also would introduce my daughter, which is
Okay.
Natonis
Okay.
Wiko Thompson. Um, oh, I can't even remember everything I said. That's awful.
That's okay. That's okay. I put you on the spot. That's my fault. That's my fault. But basically,
But
you speak
so
your
basically,
native
I just introduced
language,
who we were,
introducing yourself,
in
right?
that what we would be doing was beadwork and you know, all that kind of good stuff.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is good. I just wanted us to get a taste of what it feels like being in that workshop that you lead because it sounds like it is amazing. So we know that you have so many things that you have, you know, sprouted up from, you know, your background and the things that you ended up coming up with and I love how you know constantly weave your tradition and even your native language even in your workshop so that it even you know continues to train and teach people with that, right? But I know there had to be some challenges as you were growing up. What kind of challenges did you actually experience when you were growing up and what were some of your high points too?
All right. So, growing up, actually, I was bullied in school. I was very
Mm.
shy. I was very insecure. I even had my high school guidance counselor tell me that I wasn't college material and not
Wow,
smart.
you've got
Um,
to be kidding me.
and so, you know, you know, just not hearing anything different, I assumed because this was, you know, an elder in my school telling me this,
Mm-hmm.
it was true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I also started passing out in sixth grade,
Mm.
and I didn't have warnings. I just would drop, and
Mm.
no explanation. I was homeschooled for a while because of it. I almost missed my senior prom.
Oh,
um,
wow.
but through all of that, I was surrounded by family, and
Mm-hmm.
I had both my father and my mother. My father was a minister,
That's a blessing.
and I just, you know, even though I had those struggles, I enjoyed being a kid. I enjoyed
Mm. Mm-hmm.
family. My mom, we were always going over to my grandmother's house, and I had cousins over there by the dozens. My mom is actually a child of 12. So I
Oh,
had
wow.
cousins and
Yes, you
a
do.
lot of aunts and uncles and just a beautiful family. And they're all very artistic
That's
and
awesome.
singing, you know, artwork, you know, different types, cooking. My grandmother was the best cook on earth. So even though I had those few challenges, I had so much family and love
Mm-hmm.
around me. You know, I say my parents did an absolute excellent job raising
Mm-hmm.
me and my siblings, and I really do appreciate their upbringing of me because they taught me so much. I lost my father a few years ago
Mm.
to
I'm
dementia,
so sorry.
and he was a huge part of my life. I was daddy's
Sure.
girl. I argue
Oh.
time with my younger sister. She thinks she was, but I'm.
You say no, it was me. It
Yes.
was me, right? I love it. I love that you balanced your challenges with your high points. You know, even though you had different challenges growing up, you know, health conditions that you dealt with, and even the bullying that was out of your control, you know, you still really highlighted the love of your family that supported you through it all, you know, which is awesome because it's so important, you know,
It is.
to have
It
our
is.
family around us. And family can look however it can look different. I tell people, don't get
Right.
caught up in how family should look. Like it's
Right.
supposed to
No.
look like this and be like this. It's whatever it is for
No.
you, right? And that love
Absolutely.
and support looks different for everybody, but it is important for us to have that. So, you know, I really appreciate you expressing the importance of, even though you had those challenges, you still had a great childhood because of
I
the
did.
love and support you had from your family. And so, and it lets us all know too that, you know, we all have different challenges that we go through in life, whether it's in our childhood or whether it's, you know, experiencing in our adulthood, but that, you know, when you have that support and that love from your family and your friends, that unit, that is that nucleus, you know, that is so important,
It's so
that
important.
we can get through anything, you know.
Right.
And so I
Right.
think it's important for us to understand to keep the nucleus strong. And
Yes.
nucleus doesn't mean that you have to have a lot in a nucleus. If you think about it in a scientific way, nucleus is very small. And so you just have to have people who are real, okay,
Yes.
who
Yes.
really want to support you and love you for who you are, you know. And I think that's the important piece, and that's what you felt. So now tell me, with all of this love and support that you had, you know, growing up, is this what led you to starting your business? What led you to start your business? And like, where did the name Red Fern come from?
So Mishki actually means red,
Oh,
and my
okay.
middle name is Fern.
Oh,
So
wow.
and I
Nice.
love. I have 3 children of my own. I have 2 daughters, and
Mm-hmm.
I love accessories and little girls' hairs. Love the bows, all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. And
Yes.
so I became disabled in
Mm.
2012, and
Okay.
you know, like I was working full time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my husband and I were raising our children, and
Mm-hmm.
everything was fine. But I always still had the passing out from time to
Mm.
time, and I also, after my first child, developed a back injury that
Mm.
just over time got worse.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it was my point was I was crawling up the stairs to my
Mm.
job,
Mm.
to just to go to work. And my
Mm-hmm.
boss was like, Mishki, which she was actually also my cousin. I worked for my
Mm-hmm.
tribe. And she was like, Mishki, you can't do this. This is like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this
Mm-hmm.
is really bad. And
Mm-hmm.
so I took a leave of absence, another one,
Mm-hmm.
and just really had to, you know, decide, what am I doing? You know,
Sure.
is this good for me? Is this good for my family? How am we
Mm-hmm.
gonna live? How are we gonna support? You know, only
Mm-hmm.
2 parents working. We need this income. How's this gonna work? And
Sure.
so I, you know, had to take a leap of faith. You know, pray, and
Mm-hmm.
we decided that I needed to be home. And so I did
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and apply for disability, and you know, disability doesn't kick in right away.
No, it does
And
not.
I was home
Mm-hmm.
since I was a teenager. My father, um, he had said to me, I got my license when I turned 16.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you're so excited you got your license. Dad, can I drive? And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, do you have a job? And I was like, no. You know? He's like, do you have car insurance? I was like, no. Like, you do. You have
Right.
a car. And my
Right.
father was like, well, if you're going to drive my car, you need car insurance. You need a job to pay for this
Mm-hmm.
car insurance. You know, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to pay and do that. He said, so you get a job, you pay a little bit, we'll get you on our insurance. And so
Mm-hmm.
that just instilled, I need to be working.
Wow. Nice.
And
Nice.
and
Great
so
work
since then,
ethics.
so when I had to leave and not work, I literally
Mm-hmm.
sat at my house going nuts. And I kept
Mm.
answering my home phone as if I was at work still. And they was like, all right, Mishki, you
Yeah.
need to find something to do.
It's okay. We're
Right.
going to have to figure out something else. We got to find
Yeah.
a middle ground in here, and not
Right.
just, you know, yeah, okay. We can't take her from the work world and working all
Yes.
this time to
I
doing
can't do
nothing.
it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's help her out. Okay.
So so I just a friend of mine had come over, and she was making hair bows for her daughter. She was like, you should
Okay.
try and do this. You know, it's really that easy. And I had
Mm-hmm.
always, you know, since high school, learned how to sew. I learned how to do cross stitch, all those different things. And she was like, you should try and do this. So I went and started watching YouTube videos,
Mm-hmm.
and started making things for my daughter. my youngest one, because she was still the little one at the time. And then she got to a point where she was like, Mom, I don't want to wear bows anymore. She's very much a tomboy. And so I was like, well, now who do I get to make these for? And
Right.
she just encouraged me to sell them at different tribal functions, like powwow. We had craft shows. The Tamaqua Museum would have different things, and they would invite me to come and sell my hair bows. And so I started doing that. And then I decided on trying to make the earrings. And I had always asked my sister, Silver Moon, can you please tell me how to make earrings? And she was like, oh, yeah, I'll tell you. She never did. She procrastinates. But she basically told me how it was done.
Okay.
And so that was her tutorial for me. And that to trial and error, just working it out and buying things. And that was the biggest thing for me, was realizing that, you know, beads aren't expensive. You know, you get a hank and they're like $5. And it's like, oh, this isn't expensive. This is no big deal. But that was one color. And, you know, if you're going to make a pair of earrings, you need different colors. It started to add up. And so I was like, wow, this really is a money, you know, like this takes money. It gave me a whole new eye-opening on how to, you know, appreciate it. Made me appreciate all my other indigenous beading artists. I was like, wow, I'm paying for these happily because I know the work that it took. But after that, I just started beading away and selling my things here and there. But it was important for me because I didn't have an income anymore. So that was helping. It was great when, you know, I would sell my things at Tamaqua Museum and Christmas was coming. It's like, all right, how do we do this? And then here came my little check from Tamaqua Museum that paid for our Christmas.
Wow, you know, isn't that perfect?
Electric bill is due. How are we going to do that? And here would come, you know, the check from the museum again, or I'd have a fair. I was like, all right, pay the bill. So, and it just made me feel great because I was able to still
contribute
to my family and give my children an example to look at. You know, I wasn't just dead, laid back, you know, sitting there like no big deal. I still doing things to help.
I love it because basically you didn't give up. You know, even though another challenge came your way, it was like, oh, okay, this just gives me a open window for another opportunity. Okay, so what opportunity is it? So instead of being able to just lay down and say, okay, I'm done, I can't do this, it was like, okay, challenge, accept it. Now I've got to figure out what to do with the challenge, because there is an opportunity in this challenge. Let me see where it is, and starting to, you know, be able to find that opportunity and then walk in it, and having the courage to walk in it. And I think that is amazing. And I give you kudos again for that, for not giving up. And that's what you've got to do out there, is not give up, no matter what the challenge looks like or is. And I know it can be hard sometimes, like I'm sure it was for Mishki, but Mishki didn't give up. She kept moving. And this is what brought about Red Ferns. And I'm loving that. So this business is important for a lot of reasons then. It's important for you to be able to teach and train your daughter so that your kids see, you know, the tenacity in you, and then to be able to even teach more about your tradition to the community. I mean, and what else? I mean, it's so many other reasons, and how it brings awareness. Like, what other ways does your business bring awareness? Because it is bringing awareness.
In Rhode Island, we're a small part, and actually in the East Coast, where the Native communities are small in our cities and towns. And so being visible, you know, a lot of people always think, you know, when you think about artwork and you know, indigenous artwork, a lot of people think about West and the plains and things. That's but we're here in the East Coast, and we have our own styles and traditions and beadwork and you know, just different things that we do. And so it was showing people that we're still here, you know, we're here in the community among you. We may be small, but we are here. And in Rhode Island, Native people have the highest poverty rates.
So, really? Okay.
bringing awareness to that is, a big thing. And so because we have these high poverty rates, it's hard for us to get a business loan. It's hard for, collateral, how do you get money to do a business like that? So it was like creating appreciation, awareness, just all those different things was just being visible in this area, and then also passing on the traditions,
Sure.
it's just very important for me.
Well, I think that is amazing. You are doing a great job at not only being able to help the community, with learning new skill sets, but being able to pass down tradition to be able to make your community, and not only just your community, but people all over aware that, the indigenous, brothers and sisters are still here, whether not just in the West Coast, but on the East Coast too. And so I applaud you for that. And you talked about some of the challenges that you have to experience it with business loans. So that's part of it. But what are some of the other challenges as a minority businesswoman that you experience?
So, trying just to get a business loan, understanding what that is. What does that entail? Having the credit to even try and get a loan. For me, I was disabled, so it was like, and where I pass out and don't have a warning, I'm not ever alone. So as I'm talking to you all here, my daughter is standing right here next to me, just in case.
Sure.
So it's, trying to make those things work, like when you're out and about, people, you're trying to explain that so that people are not scaring people, like what in the world is going on?
Right.
So that was, a big issue. And just how do I get out here? How do I let people know that I'm this little person in this little town? This is what I do, and this is what my community does, and how do we share this with everyone? So it is it's really challenging to try and do all of those things, and when you don't have that much with which to do it with. And for me, I can't sing the praises enough of the Mashantucket Pequot Vocational Rehabilitation Program. Okay. And that was for Indigenous people with disabilities, and it helped me with money to start my business.
Wonderful.
Yes, and then the Tamilquag Museum, again, just a beautiful blessing, because they helped me. They put my stuff in their store. They have me come to their events. I've done classes there also, so just their help in getting my business out there and getting recognized, and even other tribal members and businesses as well. A lot of indigenous, they do a wonderful job at doing that. And then just my family.
Sure.
The Silver Moon, my sister Crystal, my mother, they're just always so supportive. My brother, but my husband's like my biggest cheerleader. He's really, wonderful. And even my kids, that we all pull it together and work together and get it all, get it done. And if I pass out, one's jumping right in and taking over for me. They just really, my entire family has been a blessing. And my sisters are always very encouraging. I can text them, I'm feeling down here, and they just have the words that just lift me up. My mother, she's my prayer warrior. I call her, she'll drop everything and just pray with you and just fill you right back up. So when you just have to have that, it's just important to have that network of family around you. Exactly. Keep you going.
So it sounds like that same thing that was your positive and your highlights in your childhood and in your past and even in your adulthood is the same highlight and support that keeps you moving in your business. And so I love that, I love that. And I love how you find resources no matter what, like, you know, hard to get a business loan, but then you were able to find a very unique and specific business loan to be able to help get your business started. I love that. Always looking for where is the opportunity. So I applaud you for that. So I'm sure because of all these great things that you're doing, that you have some sort of mantra to get you to this point in your life. What does that look like? What are some of your mantras?
So I don't necessarily have like a mantra, but what I do is, I always think to myself, am I making my mother and father proud? Am I being daddy's girl and, you know, working and showing him that I can continue on? You know, he's overlooking me now, but he's still.
Yes, he is.
And am I being an example to my children? Am I keeping my tradition alive? Am I passing it on? Those are the things that I think about when I sit here and create and you know, what am I doing today? You know, if I have a bad day and I'm laying in my bed, I get very depressed when I have to stay in there. If my back's just not doing good and I can't move. You know, all right, well, I'm sitting here, so what can I do as I'm laying here? I actually started a new craft. That's the other thing I do constantly. I get bored with the same thing. So it's like, all right, I need to try something different. And where I have times in bed, what can I can't necessarily put beads on the bed when I'm laying flat. So what can I do? So it was like, all right, well, this is a hair bow day or something else. And so it's just always trying to find you know, whatever I can do to keep me moving.
I love it. You're finding, again, I hear your mantra is finding the opportunities in your challenge. Okay. I just made one up for you.
Yes.
I just made one up for you. I love it. Because that's what you're saying. I'll keep hearing it. Like everything that you're saying is she's finding opportunities in her challenges. And so that is awesome. And by the way, I love your accessories. I'm an accessory person myself. Your earrings and your necklace, I take it that you made those? I
did, yes.
Okay, and then I'm being nosy. Okay, I'm being nosy. I see something behind you. Are those?
Oh, yeah.
Are those, okay. See, guys, I'm being nosy for us guys, so we can figure out what's going on. So she's got her jewelry behind her, and so that earring that you have on
by Indigenous artists everywhere. Okay. I'm on social media shopping, which I shouldn't be.
I love the earring. Your earring is beautiful. I know a lot of people that would love that. So you're doing great work. So what would be your hashtag becomer story?
I went from a normal working woman, you know, 8:30 to 4:30 with my hours, you know, job, to having to create a job to keep the money going, you know, keep the tradition going, you know, but doing something I love and that is keeping us visible and passing on to my children and my traditions on to my children.
Excellent. So what would you tell other women about reaching their goals and their dreams?
Just be true to who you are. Do something you absolutely love, you know, and get that support from wherever you can get it from, because it really does make a difference. And reach out to people and you know, because they're there and they're there to help you. And even programs you don't know about, they're out there. You just have to, you know, find them. But just enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy it, because, you know, life is so short. And, you know, it just, if you're miserable every day, it's not, and put a smile on your face.
Yes. Okay. I love that. Put a smile on your face.
And all of that. You know, I could sit and cry and be miserable, but I love to smile. I love to laugh. And so if I can put a smile on someone else's face, that's what keeps me from being down. So just, you know, just be happy. Find something funny in everything. When things are like going crazy, just find the one thing that you can smile about or laugh about.
I love it. I love it. Oh, wow. That is amazing. And I know that if Mishki can do it, right, we can do it. So we have to always remember that that you never know what somebody else is going through. So it's nice to be able to put a smile on someone's face, right? And especially these days. So and I know we're coming to an end, and I hate this, but I've got a couple more last questions for you. What would be your greatest resource? I kind of know what it would be, but I'm still want and need to ask this, and why?
So family is.
I knew that you were going to say that. Yes. I knew it, but I had to ask it.
Absolutely, yes. But on top of that, the Voc Rehab program was definitely a godsend, and the Tamaqua Museum. The Tamaqua Museum is actually the only Indigenous-led museum in Rhode Island.
Really?
It is.
Oh my goodness.
And
they're doing some great work then.
They are. They really are. So without that, but you know, and those are family members in that museum.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. So, you know, so again, it does all boil right down to family.
Exactly. So for you, it definitely comes full circle back to family. So that's awesome. So we see that that's one of your biggest resources, along with some other resources that are around, but they still involve family. So that's a big thing for you, and it works. It works very well for you. So who would you tag next for our hashtag Become a Series story?
I would, and I actually need to reach out to her. I would nominate Sherry Pocknett.
Sherry Pocknett, okay.
Pocknett. She is an Indigenous chef in our area, and she is amazing. She's been able to, all on her own, raise money to start a restaurant. She has like a little food truck, and she's actually opening a new restaurant right in our area, a second one, but she is amazing. She forages for, you know, her food here and grows her food, but she's trying to bring the northeastern side of Indigenous cuisine to us. You know, there's other Indigenous chefs all over the US, but she's here. And so we get to enjoy her food, and her food is amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, we thank you so much for being a part of our show. We'll let you do an e-introduction for us, but what's the best way to get in contact with you?
So the best way is I have a Facebook page, which is Red Ferns Boutique. I'm also on Instagram, and that is Mishki with 2 I's 92. But Facebook is the best way. Message me and I'm very quick. My phone's always in my hand. You message me and I'll answer.
Excellent. So we want to thank you so much for being here today, being a part of our hashtag Become a Stories. You are amazing. Keep doing what you are doing. Remember, Red Fern Boutique. And we look forward to seeing you next time at our hashtag Become a Series stories. And maybe you'll be the one we're interviewing. Remember, stay safe and stay well. And remember, victory is yours. Take care.